Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zeng here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 17 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. We're just jumping back into things, of course, still using the new team that we featured for the last couple of episodes or so. It's really maybe been my favorite team to play with on Road to Ranked so far. Of course, I really love the San Jose team that I built and used, but it seems very different. With that team, it felt like a lot of the games ended very quickly and were, a lot of it just came down to heavy offense, but this team feels like it's a lot more dynamic when it comes to switch outs and kind of coming up with a long-term strategy. So I've been enjoying it, using it a lot. Hope you guys have been enjoying watching the games, and as always, if you do enjoy Road to Ranked, I'd really appreciate it by if you guys could share your support by leaving a like in the video. It would mean a lot to me. We're just gonna look for our first game in today's episode, and yeah, if you haven't seen the last couple of episodes with this team, highly recommend them. I definitely feel like I'm learning a lot. Admittedly, the losses that I had with this team, I think we've had 3 so far. The first 2 were pretty bad in the sense that the second one I just misplayed in the end. The first one, it was just kind of not having a strategy right from the start, going against a pretty scary team composition. And then the third loss, which we suffered in yesterday's episode, it was just kind of misreading the first turn and not considering the worst case scenario. But I feel like the wins have been pretty solid for the most part. Got a little bit lucky here and there, but overall with this team, it feels very methodical. A lot of switching, a lot of kind of late game game planning, and we are going to find our first opponent of the day. Running a pretty cool team here of Kartana, Porygon 2, Talonflame, Crocodile, Alolan Marowak, and the Milotic. So let's see. First thing there's a lot that jumps into mind here actually, but especially Crocodile and Talonflame. Talonflame's a pretty interesting pick here. I think Ninetales is pretty tempting as a lead because I can try to set up an Aurora Veil, and I think that actually will make a big difference throughout the course of this match. I would like Arcanine, but it doesn't do anything other than wall the Kartana, but that might be enough of a reason to bring it. I think I'm going to go Ninetales, Tapu Fini, or maybe Ninetales Muck. The other thing is, do I want Porygon? I could actually make a case for Porygon here. I could make a case for all the Pokemon, honestly. Ninetales, Tapu Fini, Porygon, and I think I'm going to go Muck. It feels really odd not bringing Chomp, but going against opposing Porygons too, I feel pretty inclined to bring my Muck, because Muck can knock off, and that's a big deal. Being able to get rid of Porygon's Eviolite is always huge because that means damage output significantly greater. It's really hard to, consistently hit Porygon for damage, especially when it has Recover. So, okay, we see Milotic Kartana as a lead here. This is something that I might have thought, and the reason why that's a super solid lead is because the Milotic basically covers an Arcanine, so it's like if I did bring Arcanine, then Milotic would be able to immediately put on pressure. So I have a bunch of plays. Obviously I can Aurora Veil here. The Protect on Fini is relatively obvious, so it's likely he's going to predict that and double up into my Ninetales. We Speed Tie here most likely. I don't think that really makes a difference. How important is Fini in this matchup? I think pretty important because of the Pokemon he has in the back. So my goal should be to just eliminate Kartana. So I think I will just Blizzard here, and I'm going to switch into Porygon 2, because Porygon 2 will probably get a download special attack increase here. So if that's the case, like, I really want to pressure down the Kartana. He's staying in with Kartana as well, which is good. Let's see if he goes for a Protect or not, though, because he could be Focus Sashed. Yeah, I get the special attack increase. He actually does Detect with Kartana, okay. So I thought that, but Porygon 2 coming in here is actually pretty good. It also indicates to me he is most likely sashed on Kartana, which is important information. So Aurora Veil would have been better here. Unfortunately not the case. He's just going to launch a Scald here into Milotic. Yeah, it doesn't do too much damage. And no burn damage, obviously. Or no burn possibility because of the Misty Terrain. So here I could pretty much just Protect Ninetales and Ice Beam Kartana, and I think I want to do that. Could probably switch out, to be honest. So I could also go for the Aurora Veil. You know, I kind of want to do that, actually, because Ninetales doesn't hit very hard, especially if he switches into something like a Marowak. So I think I will just Aurora Veil here, and Ice Beam. I think Kartana switches out here. But if he stays in, that's fine with me. Especially if I win the speed tie. But I feel like he doesn't want to risk a speed tie right now. Oh, no, he does stay in. Okay, so I just get Aurora Veil up. He'll probably Smart Strike my... Yeah, my Ninetales. So I will get this Ice Beam off at +1. I don't know if we'll knock him out, but I think that plus hail damage potentially. So yeah, I get a little bit fortunate winning the speed tie. Surprised to see him risking it there, because I could have easily Blizzarded as well, but I'm fine as depending on how much Ice Beam does here. And one thing about that's nice about running Tapu Fini is you never have to deal with the potential burn chance. And yeah, Ice Beam knocks out Kartana after that special attack increase, so that's a trade I'll take any day. Let's see who I want to bring in now. I think this is a pretty prime position for Tapu Fini to come in. You know, I wanted to conserve the Fini because it does pretty darn well against my opponent's entire team. Especially because I've gotten the Aurora Veil up. So even a Z-move from something like Crocodile won't be able to knock me out. So he doesn't have a way to one-shot the Fini anymore, which is good. And I can Calm Mind up as well. My Lodic can't really touch Fini at all with its attacks. You know, Scald or Water type attacks, Ice type attacks, those don't do anything. So it's going to be Porygon coming in here. I'm okay to see that. The question now is whether he wants to risk switching out. I very easily could go for a Calm Mind. But I think his last Pokemon is going to be... The thing is, regardless of what his last Pokemon is, it's weak to Muddy Water. So I'm actually just going... The thing about Muddy Water is I don't want to give my Lodic accuracy drop. I think I'll Muddy Water this turn, though. And, I really would like to Calm Mind, though. Maybe Calm Minding is actually fine here. Because I do have Aurora Veil up. No, I want to catch the switch in off guard, though. And if he stays in, my Lodic can't do anything offensively anyway, so he's kind of inclined to switch out. He just stays in, okay. That's fine. So I'm not going to do any damage this turn, but he can't really do much in return either. Hopefully no accuracy drop on my Lodic. Okay. So he's Scalding Fini, but he can't even burn me right now. And he's actually just going for Tri-Attack, okay. So trying to get damage off on Fini, but I can Calm Mind safely next turn then. Which I think I will do. Yeah. So Fini takes pretty minimal damage there. Tri-Attack is a little bit of a concern. If he stays... Like, he doesn't probably want to switch out because he knows whatever's in the back is weak to Fini. So maybe... Calm Mind would have worked out really nicely there. And he got a little bit more damage overall from the turn than I would have liked. But that's okay. Yeah, I'm going to Calm Mind here and... just try attack into Porygon 2 again. Because the thing is, here, if he doesn't Trick Room with Porygon, then I will be able to... And also, my Porygon's faster than his Porygon. We just saw that as well. And he stays in with both. That's really nice to see. Okay, good. So... regardless of what happens, if he sets up Trick Room, my Porygon will be able to outspeed him. He could recover with his. And because of Misty Terrain, I feel comfortable right now. He can't, like, hacks me with any status conditions. And he does recover with Porygon, which is a good play, but that's fine. He might be trying to stall out the Misty Terrain at this point. Both that plus Hail are leaving soon, but I still have Aurora Veil up, which is also a big deal. And Tri-Attack is doing a decent amount to the Porygon. Both of his Pokemon probably have recovered, but that's fine. And the thing is, if he sets up Trick Room, I could just reverse it at any point with my Porygon as well. A lot of this really hinges on what his last Pokemon is. I feel comfortable by my position, and I think Porygon plus Muck can close out whatever's in the back. But it's not over by any means. So the speed order right now is Fini, my Lodic, his Porygon, then my Porygon. And regardless of what he has in the back, Muck plus Porygon 2 can beat that combination. But I might want to recover with Porygon to make sure I'm in a healthy range. Let's see. I believe this is the last turn of Misty Terrain as well. Still have another turn of Aurora Veil, though, which is quite nice. I can go Calm Mind here again, actually. And try attack into Porygon. Maybe I should be switching to Muck right now. But he stays in with both, that's also fine with me. So my Feeny is standing really strong right now. Could be going for a crit. A Tri-Attack crit would be kind of bad. I also think I probably should have switched into Muck instead of keeping Porygon in. And he's just recovering with Porygon, so that's fine. I'll stall out that any day. Because he's not doing any damage to my Feeny right now. The only issue is Misty Terrain will be disappearing soon. Hail stops here. So I will have a little bit more consistent recovery. But I am worried about a Scald Burn onto Muck. That's my one concern. And Mist disappears. But I still have another turn of Aurora Veil. So I'm at +2 now. Ooh, let's see. Could Calm Mind again. Maybe I find the attack here. I think I actually want to double into my Lodic here, yeah. Because Porygon can't really beat my Muck, and I can knock him off. Oh, he switches out. He made the read. So I could have Muddy Water there. I also could have doubled up into Porygon. I mean, Moonblast will still do an okay amount. More than an okay amount, jeez. That's really good damage output. But he will set up Trick Room here, yeah. Okay. Really good play there. Okay, let's think this through. I don't think he knocks Feeny out with attack anyway. So I think I'm just gonna Muddy Water and reverse this Trick Room here, because he could protect Marowak. No, I don't think he protects Marowak here. Because he could expect my Feeny to protect and try to target down my Porygon. I don't think he knocks out Feeny anyway, and I'm at +2, so his Porygon's damage output is not that great. And if he does somehow knock out Feeny, I get the free switch him back into Muck anyway. And he Flare Blitzes, nice. Let's see if I can survive that. Oh, I actually do survive it. Does he double up into that slot? That's the other question. Yeah, looks like he did. Fine by me. Although I should have Moonblasted actually, because I could miss Muddy Water, that would be quite bad. Okay. We hit the right one. He could have been in Shadow Sneak KO range anyway, but I was still a little bit concerned there. And now it's a Lefty's Feeny plus a Muck against his Porygon 2 and his Milotic. And I can knock off both his recovery items while he's... Yeah, he basically needs to get some RNG right now with maybe Tri Attack. So yeah, I did not want to protect her because I figured Feeny could survive the attack. A Boomerang, for example, because it is pretty bulky, and I'm at +2, so I don't have to worry about the special attacks from Porygon, especially given like he didn't get a special attack increase. So if I protected there, I actually could have been in a pretty bad position, but instead, I definitely feel pretty comfortable about where I am right now. I think here I'm actually just going to Moonblast and knock off into Porygon. And Muck's actually the fastest Pokemon under Trick Room, which is quite nice as well. So this might just be able to knock him out. He's probably, yeah, he needs some RNG right now. If I can avoid getting RNG'd here, okay, good. I don't care about, like, burn is fine. If he burns me, that's okay. Because leftovers actually just heals back anything anyway. Actually, I would prefer a burn, because that means he can't freeze me or paralyze me with Tri Attack. But this should just heal up the game here. Yeah, nice. Woof! Winning that speed tie was definitely a little bit fortunate because Aurora Veil was up, but once I eliminated Kartana, I knew that Feeny had a very good chance to sweep in this game, and that's why Calm Mind Feeny's been seeing so much popularity recently. It's really good if you support it properly, and it's just super bulky. If you get a couple of Calm Minds up when your opponent doesn't have much to deal with, for example, like because he had Milotic and Porygon, he had no damage output whatsoever, and I was able to capitalize off that, so we do pick up a win here. He does have, his name is familiar. I believe I actually might have played him round 1 of the World Championships back in 2015, and that was actually a super close set. Not sure if it's him or not, but yeah, that was a good game for sure. And Calm Mind Feeney really proving its worth once again, so pretty clean win there. And I'm pretty happy about that. I think for him, he probably didn't realize how big of a deal Feeney was, and you know, I made the play where I didn't protect with my Feeney and just attacked with it, because I think he probably anticipated me to reverse Trick Room, and that worked out quite nicely. But I did risk it a little bit. I think Moonblast would have been a safer play, because we would have known it would have knocked down Marowak in that range. Of course, Marowak could have protected there, so that Muddy Water could have capitalized on some damage, but damage on Porygon 2 is kind of insignificant, so could have played that a little bit better. But yeah, nonetheless, we're going to get into the second game of today's episode. My opponent running Double Weather with Gigalith and Pelipper, closing things out, Garchomp, Tapu Fini, Talonflame, and Kartana. So definitely a very offensive team. Fini is like the bulkier component to it, but very scary to go up against in general. I think Porygon will be really solid here, not for Trick Room, but because it's actually pretty solid offensively. Ice Beam, I mean, it's very likely I'll get a special attack increase against this team comp, with Garchomp, you know, Pelipper, and Kartana. So if I do, then Ice Beam, 2 shots, Garchomp, Talonflame, Pelipper, and Kartana. So I don't really want to set up Trick Room in this game, I think. It's an option, but the Gigalith, I think, is definitely coming in from my opponent's end in anticipation of me trying to set up Trick Room. So what do I want to pair Porygon with? Ninetales is hard. Ninetales would be a nice Pokemon to bring here, but I can't really, I think. This one's tricky. I want the Garchomp. I think we could see like a Kartana lead here. I don't really like Arcanine too much. You know, let's go Porygon Fini with my Garchomp in the back, and I think I still want Muck because he has a Fini. The issue is I'd really like Arcanine here, but Arcanine, once again, really doesn't do very much other than Flamethrower and Threaten Kartana, and I have ways around that, especially with Porygon too. But like last time, Kartana was a little bit easier to deal with because I had Hail, so because it was sashed, Hail plus Ice Beam just knocked it out. If it's Assault Vest this time around, you have to play around that. But we'll see. I think I have the tools. But figuring out the lead matchup here was pretty tricky. I'm not sure if this is the best lead option. But Fini plus Porygon, he's going to go Kartana Fini. Okay. So solid option here from my opponent. Once again, you can see how team building, you know, you want to bring ways to really support Kartana. And, well, first of all, download gets me a special attack. Okay, that's good at least. Okay. So with these two, I could Trick Room. This one's a little bit trickier, because you could like Sacred Sword into Porygon. Ice Beaming into Kartana is a relatively safe play. The real question is, what do I want to do with Fini? I don't want to just lose it here immediately. So I think I'll actually switch into Muck, yeah. But I'm afraid of Specs Fini right now, because that hits pretty hard. So my opponent got the better lead here. Leading a Fini against Kartana is never good. And Arcanine could have been worked just solely for Intimidate. He just Leaf Blades, but yeah, he does target Porygon. I see a Moonblast coming out too, okay. How much does this do? 122 down to 62. So that did 60 damage. Shadow Sneak could knock out Will it? I don't know. Yeah, so that double up was like relatively obvious. And now this is a little bit concerning. I'm going to recover here. I don't know if Shadow Sneak will knock out Kartana. He's most definitely Assault Vested, so he's probably got some bulk as well. I could switch Porygon out, but he just Leaf Blades into that slot for free damage. Recover. I don't think Sneak will knock out Kartana. Yeah, I'm gonna knock off, but I'll lose Porygon. Oh! Huh. Well, if Moonblast doesn't knock me out, which I'm really hoping, this could be a good turn, but it did 60 damage last turn, so this is probably a roll. Oh, it did exactly 60 again. Oh, and that's not even a Z move, Garchomp. We get the knockoff of Revealing Choice Scarf. Tons of important information there. Okay, that was a really good turn. This team is so offensive. I think that's definitely Specs Feeny. Yeah, that's got to be Specs Feeny. So what do I want to do here? I'd like to recover again. I could also finally try to set up Trick Room here. But his last one is probably that Gigalith. This one's tough. I'm running out of time too. Recover and... I'll jab into Feeny. But he could Earthquake himself right now, which I think he might. Oh no, he just goes for Rock Slide. Okay, please don't flinch. Because I could survive another... Oh, if it does the same damage, I could survive Moonblast again. Please. Okay, get the Poison Jab off. That's good. Kind of to be expected when your opponent uses Rock Slide, but still disheartening. That's frustrating. Okay, so he probably just Moonblasts Muck here. And Rock Slides. But I don't want to switch in Garchomp potential. I think I have to sack Porygon here. I'll go for the Hail Mary Ice Beam onto Garchomp and Protect. Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. I hate Rock Slide, but what can you do? Oh, he actually Earthquakes himself. Fine by me. I'm glad I protected Muck there then, jeez. It's not going to knock out his Feeny, I don't think, but yeah. That might be in Shadow Sneak KO range, though. And I'm really... Okay, so I'm playing this assuming his last one is going to be Gigalith, because that would make sense. You would want to bring Gigalith against a Trick Room comp. So with that, I will bring in Feeny right now, because I know that Garchomp does not have Protect. I just don't know whose Feeny is faster here. Can Shadow Sneak knock out that Feeny? I really think it would be able to. So then I could just Moonblast Shadow Sneak. He can't Earthquake himself. Yeah, okay. And if my Feeny's faster, then this play works out also. But I don't... Yeah, he's not going to Earthquake right now. He probably has Poison Jab, so he'd want to go for that onto Feeny. Who draws Chomp, okay. Yeah, Gigalith is the last one, that's what I thought. Okay. Well, I really hope I can knock out... Ooh, what is that? Huh, Misty Seed, interesting. Okay, so I get the knockout on a Feeny, which is good, because I don't take any damage, and I get a Moonblast off against Gigalith. We know that Gigalith doesn't have a Z move then. Special attack drop, that doesn't really matter. However, I'm basically playing this endgame knowing I have Garchomp at the back, and Garchomp one-shots Gigalith with a Tectonic Rage. Muck also hasn't lost its berry yet, which is good. So I like my positioning. I definitely think it's an okay position right now. But still have to be careful. Mist also disappears. So, status conditions obviously can happen now. Let's see what comes in. Kartana, yeah. Okay, that's fine. Pretty sure that's AV Kartana as well. I don't think he can knock me out unless he crits me, so I can make a pretty safe play of just protecting Feeny and going for a knockoff, because I don't think Shadow Sneak knocks him out. I'm gonna do that, yeah. Actually, no, he could be sashed. Never mind. But can Gigalith knock me out? I mean, he can maybe Earthquake. I don't think that Earthquake even knocks out Muck. Maybe Shadow Sneak can... Oh, wow, what? Huh, interesting. I actually really... That's a really solid play. It depends on what Gigalith does here. I'm kind of curious now. Okay. So knockoff won't do... Oh, no, no, no. This is really happening. He's... Okay, so that's obviously Sandvale. I think he's going for crits at this point. because I get a free Moonblast into that Garchomp slot. I think he needs to Rock Slide crit me right now. However, I'm definitely switching Muck out into my Garchomp. We know... Oh, man. He's basically going for Rock Slide, and I have to attack through Flinch Chance and Sand Veil. And that's no fun. But I protected Lasso with Feeny, so I kind of have to make this play. Oh, please don't let me get Rock Slid to death. This feels like VGC like 2012, 2013, back when Sandville, Garchomp plus Tyranitar was around. Yep, he's Rock Sliding. Come on, Tabu Feeny, I believe in you. I believe in you. This man's really doing it. If I got that Moonblast off, that's the game 100%. Still not over, but... Can't lie, I mean, that is frustrating. That is definitely frustrating. Okay. If he has Dragon Claw and he wins the Speed tie, that could be really bad. But he also could have Poison Jab. Sandstorm is about to subside, though. I'm going to double protect here. See if his Gigalith protects. He could switch out, though, actually. That would be bad. Okay, good. He doesn't switch out. I'm also pretty sure you can't miss a Z move, so I could go for that onto his Chomp. Yeah, Gigalith protects. There we go. And now I get the free Tectonic Rage into that slot. He's just Rock Sliding. Oh, come on, man. I mean, he's doing what he has to do, I guess. Although seeing Rock Slide over a Poison Jab or Dragon Claw is also making me wonder. Maybe he doesn't have Poison Jab then. Okay. Well, here I'm going to go Moonblast, Chomp, and Tectonic Rage. Gigalith. Okay. So I knock out Gigalith at least. Question is whether he has Poison Jab or not. I could have targeted down the Garchomp slot with Tectonic Rage, but his Garchomp's damage output's not as big as Gigalith. And we know Garchomp doesn't have Protect, so I can use that to my advantage as well. So I really needed a nuke on Gigalith, and I get it here, which is good. But still not over. He's just Rock Sliding. Okay, Feeny, please pull through, please. Please. Please, please, please. Oh, thank you. I'm telling you, these are like the scariest strategies to go up against because it's literally like rolling the dice, and without setting up Trick Room, you know, there's no good way to prevent it because the best way to not get flinched or crit is attacking them first, but I couldn't have really set up Trick Room in this game because my opponent had the Gigalith and I had to play around that, but okay, now I'm pretty happy. Yeah, he just brings in Kartana. And there is no possible way he can win at this point. I'm just going to Moonblast and Earthquake. I have Fire Fang, but Fire Fang can miss. And if he Leaf Blades, he'll be in KO range from Shadow Sneak. So I'll just protect EQ. Normally in these positions you just want to attack with everything, but I don't want to risk missing. Yep, he Leaf Blades into Chomp. That's perfectly fine. Doesn't even knock me out. I knew, like, even if he knocks me out, I have Muck in the back with Shadow Sneak anyway. Even without Shadow Sneak, then, like, by sacrificing Chomp, sure, he can knock out one of my two Pokemon, but all I have to do is Moonblast and knock off. Or Shadow Sneak for the win. Woof! That was an intense episode. Definitely some scary moments in both games, but we pulled out in the end. And pretty solid. I'm happy about that one for sure. Especially because the second one I was very iffy about the team matchup. But fortunately, Porygon was able to put in some work. And the biggest surprise was just him swapping out Cortana into Garchomp. Maybe afraid of that Shadow Sneak, but I didn't think it would KO in that range that it was at. So I didn't go for it because Cortana's defenses are pretty good. And given the damage roll, I figured it was Assault Vest. So, oof. That was a tough one, but we managed to pull and end up winning both games. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was definitely a really fun one, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another episode of Road to Rank. Don't forget to leave a like on this one if you did enjoy. Alright, peace.